everyone. This is Cindy, the author of 3 Gothic Horror Mashups, and I'm here with a new video. So this is going to be a shopping video where we're going to go find some Halloween things and go book shopping. So it should be a lot of fun. It's the perfect day for it because it's gloomy and dark and rainy today, which I absolutely love, my favorite kind of weather. So, it's perfect for Halloween shopping. And I actually went Halloween and book shopping a couple of weeks ago, and then I'm doing it again today. So I'm going to just combine them into one video for you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, guys, I got you a new little friend to play with. Now, he's a little bit weird, but I think you'll like him. Ta-da! His name is Beetlejuice. And then I also got some other stuff. I got these cute little ghost earrings. I thought they were adorable. And then I also got this Wednesday doll, which I really like. It's got a thing and her little cello and stand. You can change her hair, which I think is cool, but you can also change her face, which I think is kind of weird. But I thought she was really cute, and she'd look really cute on my shelves. I found these really cute Hocus Pocus socks. So we got Mary and Sarah, and then I'm actually wearing Winifred. So, yeah, they're so cute and so fun. I got this awesome Jack pumpkin. You can put batteries in him and he'll light up. Like this will light up and then his eyes will light up. He's very cool. And then I got my kids a couple of books. I got Wednesday Addams book. Love her. And then I got my youngest Biscuit visits the pumpkin patch. And then I got myself this. It says, if the broom fits, fly it. And then I bought the Halloween trilogy. Never seen it before. I've only seen the original Halloween. And I got this awesome sweater. I put a spell on you from Hocus Pocus. And then I got some more pumpkin carving stuff. We're running out of templates to put on our pumpkins. They're really cute. And then I got myself this blanket. I have a Nightmare Before Christmas blanket, but this one's really cool. So I'm going to keep that one upstairs in my bedroom, and this will be the living room one. But I thought it was really cool. I ended up buying 7 books. I don't normally buy that many books at one time, but there was just a lot of books that are currently out that I really wanted, so I made an exception. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the books that I bought. I bought 2 YA books. So the first one is highly anticipated because I love the author. The author is Maureen Johnson, and she just came out with a book called Death at Morning House. And this one kind of sounds a little bit like the Truly Devious series, which I really enjoyed. So this is about a girl who has some kind of tragedy involving a fire in her past, and she loses her job as a house sitter. But she finds a summer job on this island doing tours for Morning House, which is a building that was built in the 1920s, and apparently there's some dark history and some murders that took place at this house. So it's not a boring job, but so she thinks it's easy and it's good money and all these different things, but then she kind of gets invested in these murders that took place back in the 20s. And so she kind of takes it upon herself to solve them. I hate that every time I start to record, I swear, there's always airplanes flying above my head, so forgive the noise. But anyways, I'm very excited for this one, and hopefully I'll get to it soon. And then the next one I have is Hemlock House by Katie Cotugno. I think that's how you say it. So this is actually a sequel. She wrote Liar's Beach, and I planned on reading that this summer because it was beachy and summery and different things, and I knew the second book was coming out, so I was like, oh, I'll read that this summer and then I'll be ready for this one, which takes place on campus at a school. And so it'd be like a really summer one and then like a fall one right after it. So I'm like, that'll be perfect. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to read the first one. I've had too many NetGalley arcs and book club books and too many obligations, and I just never got around to it. So that's a bummer. So I really don't want to read this one until I read that one. So I don't know if I'm going to like wait till next year, which would be really sad, or maybe after filming this video, I can still squeeze it in at some point. I don't know. Yeah, I might end up waiting till next year, which kind of kills me, but it is what it is. So this is about this guy whose girlfriend was staying in a campus dorm. Well, no, I got that wrong, sorry. She was supposed to be staying in this campus dorm, but her friend ended up needing a place to stay, and she stayed in her bed and she was wearing her clothes, and she ends up getting murdered. So this guy and his best friend, they're kind of like, well, she was wearing my girlfriend's clothes, sleeping in her bed. Did they mean to kill this person, or was my girlfriend the real target and now she's in danger? And by extension, maybe I'm in danger too. So they're trying to figure out what happened before the killer gets them too. It's very short. I was really surprised. It's like 225 pages is all. So really, it's almost like a novella length. So I should be able to fly through this one really fast. Okay, so normally I kind of plan out a little bit what I'm gonna buy before I go to Barnes& Noble so I don't end up just buying everything. But I did see that Natalie Richards had a new one. It's called 49 Miles Alone. And I've only read Five Total Strangers by this author, but I thought it was a really fun time and it had really good wintry vibes. And so this one is kind of the opposite. It takes place in a hot desert. And so I'm kind of intrigued to read something else by this author. I also own the movie theater one. What is it called? I have it on my shelves right here. Four Found Dead. So I have Four Found Dead. I have not read it yet, but I wanted to buy this one also by this author just because I was intrigued. It takes place in Utah, which is where I live, so that was pretty cool. So this is about these young people that are out on this hiking trip and they kind of get lost and they run out of water and they come across this other couple that kind of rescues them essentially, and so they end up camping together. But then in the middle of the night this couple gets in like a huge fight and it apparently becomes a little bit physical, and the girl goes running off into the desert and the guy is in hot pursuit of her, chasing after her. And so they kind of look at each other like, oh crap, what do we do? Is she in danger? Like, is he gonna kill her? And they're like 2 days away from civilization, so they know rescue's not gonna be here anytime soon because it would be 2 days to hike out and then 2 days to hike back in. And they're like, I don't think she's gonna survive 4 days if that's his plan. So now they're gonna try and see if they can rescue this girl from her apparently murderous boyfriend. But I don't know, I thought it sounded fun and intriguing, so I wanted to check it out. Okay, so that's all the YA books. My first adult one is All the Blood We Share, and this is a historical fiction novel about the Benders, which was a family of murderers. They might have been cannibals too, I'm not sure. But anyways, I just know that they were a family of murderers. I first heard about the Benders actually from an episode of Supernatural, but anyway, so it sounds like you get a POV from 3 different people in this family. You have the mom, the dad, and the daughter, and they each have like their own set of issues. Like one's really greedy and narcissistic, and one of them's like abusive, and the other one's like a sociopath or something. Like they all have some kind of, social issue and mental issues. I mean, obviously. But I hear it's fascinating just to see like how they became this murderous family that they became. It was in Kansas that this happened. I'm not really sure the time period, but probably like the 1800s, I'm thinking. I'm not really sure when these murders took place. I was hoping the back would tell me, but it doesn't. So anyways, I believe this took place, well, I guess, just judging by their clothing on the cover, I know it's not modern times, so I don't know, it sounded intriguing. I haven't read anything about the Benders, so I just thought it'd be fun. I actually just barely recently bought another book about the Benders that's a YA book. I can't remember what it's called. It's like A Family of Killers. I think that's what it's called. So anyway, so on Instagram when I was showing off that book, somebody mentioned this book, and so I was like, oh, that's cool, I wouldn't mind checking out another book about the Benders, even though I haven't read that one yet. So now I have 2 that I can dig into. Then I bought The Third Wife of Faraday House by B.R. Meyer, and this is kind of like a retelling of Rebecca or Jane Eyre, which I'm kind of a sucker for. I don't know why. I've never actually read Rebecca yet, and I only made it halfway through Jane Eyre. Never finished it, but it got spoiled for me, so I just never went back to it, unfortunately. So I don't know why I like reading retelling so much when I haven't even read the source material, but hopefully one day soon. I don't know if it'll be soon, but hopefully one day I will read them. I do own copies of them. I do plan on reading them at some point. But anyways, I digress. So this is a retelling of that. This takes place in Victorian times. And so this woman, her guardian like lines up a whole bunch of suitors for her, and she just thinks they're all odious and gross and she doesn't like them. But there was like one Navy sailor that she kind of liked, but they kind of get involved and scandal happens, and so it's no longer an option to marry him. And so by that point, because her name is now associated with scandal, nobody wants to marry her anymore, except for this one guy. I think his name is Captain Graves. And so he still wants to marry her. And so the guardian's like, done, take her away, you know, basically. You're the only one that will have her. She can't be not married, not in that time period. She'd be a burden and she wouldn't be able to make a living for herself. So she goes off to marry this man that she doesn't like, only to find out when she gets to his creepy old manor that he's actually already married. He has a wife that everybody thought was dead, and she's not. So she's trying to deal with that. So I don't know. I thought it sounded really cool and really good, so I wanted to check it out. Then I bought The Drowning House by Sherry Priest. And this one, I didn't realize how thick it was until I went to get it. It's like over 400 pages. So not loving that necessarily. There's certain type of books that's fine to be longer. If it's like fantasy or science fiction, you know, I don't mind it being longer. But for like ghost stories or mysteries or thrillers, I feel like that's a little bit long. But then again, this is a paperback, so like if this was a hardback, it probably would be more like 370 pages, which is pretty average. So I don't know. The only thing I know about this is there's this mysterious house that like washes up on the beach one day, and this woman sees it and she starts freaking out, and people are like, why are you freaking out? And because apparently she knows something about this mysterious house that nobody else knows, you know, that people disappear inside of it. So I do hear this is a ghost story, but it's also a mystery, and I haven't read anything by this author, but I don't know, just sounded interesting. And then kind of similar to that, actually, we have Through the Midnight Doors by Katrina Monroe, and this is also about a mysterious house, but this one sounds more like it's gonna be like House of Hollows by Crystal Sutherland, because it sounds like it's gonna have a little bit of like folklore or like fantastical elements associated with it. So you have these three sisters, and they find this house, and it's abandoned, and they go inside, but it's like it has this endless corridor of just doors on either side that seems to go on forever. And they find these keys, and they each like pick a door and go into that door, and then stuff goes down, and they don't want to talk about it for many, many years. And now they're grown up, and one of the sisters had returned to this house and committed suicide. And so they're trying to deal with their memories of this house as well as the death of their sister. So I really enjoyed House of Hollows, and it does seem like it's going to have those type of vibes, not only with the sister aspect, but with the kind of fantastical elements. So I hear it is a bit of a ghost story as well, which I always love. So hopefully this is a good one. And those are the 7 books that I bought. He won't do it now, but... Oh, come on.
You let me out of here right now! Shut up!
There was another woman in this aisle with me, and when she walked by, he said that to her. It was hilarious. Okay, my friends, I'm back from shopping, so I'm ready to reveal all the cool stuff I got. So I think I'm going to start with the Halloween stuff first. So I got all of this at Michael's. So this one is like a glass mirror looking painting that's got this witch and some bats flying around. And then I got this quill and ink. I think it's really cool. I'm gonna put it on my like Victorian looking secretary desk. I think that'd be really cool. And then to go with my laboratory, I found these cute little mushrooms. And they're pink. And then I had to take her home because she was adorable. Oh, look at this cute little ghost girl. And she's got this cute little flower. She's adorable. Okay, and I got some busts. So we have Dracula. He looks like the old Bela Lugosi vampire. And then I got Frankenstein. And then I got the Headless Horseman. Isn't this so cool? I love it. And it will be great because I have, you know, this little skeleton bust that I can put with them. And then I have a bust of Edgar Allan Poe. So I can just line them all up somewhere and it will be really cool. Okay, and then I have this little like mirror. It's got a cat and some spell books and a skull with a little raven. I just thought it was really fun and cool. And then I got a couple of gravestones. So we've got Vlad Dracula. And then Edgar Allan Poe. They had a few other ones that would be fun, like they had Ichabod Crane and stuff, but I just couldn't spend too much money there, so I had to just go with my two favorites. And then I got a whole bunch of little things for my Halloween town. That's up in my kitchen. There's these two little potion bottles that are really cute. And then these cool mushrooms. And then I don't really have a lot of people in my Halloween town. I mostly have the houses and different things. There's a bunch of skeletons, but I just wanted to have a little more people that I can put in there. So I got this cute little bear who's dressed like a skeleton. And this little mouse who's dressed up like a, I almost said a candy cane, a candy corn. So cute. And then this little mummy guy. So that's all of the Halloween decorations that I bought. So we can go ahead and get into the books. I got a lot of them. So first of all, because I've been a member there for a year, I guess, I got this free little tote bag to bring it all home in, which is good because like I said, I bought a lot. Let's see, I bought 9 books. So first, the 12th volume of Spy Family is out, so I had to grab this. And then they had a 50% off, get one, well, buy one, get 50% off. So I got these two. One is One House Left, and then Holly Horror. So this one sounds more like a paranormal slasher. It sounds like a boy lived on a street and there's been some tragedy happening. There's some kind of curse. And so the whole street is cursed, and like every couple of years, one of the families ends up murdered. And so his family moves away to try and get away from it. But then I guess it follows him. So, and then this one I think is more like a murder mystery ghost story. This teenage girl keeps having these dreams and visions about this woman wearing a bonnet. And so she's trying to solve her murder. They're both YA books. This one I've been waiting to come out for so long. They kept moving the date back. And it's finally here. Midwestern Gothic by Scott Thomas. And I'm very, very excited because I absolutely love Kill Creek. It's one of my favorite horror books ever. This is a group of 4 novellas. So I'm not into short story collections, but because they're technically novellas, not short stories, I think this will work a lot better for me. And then at the beginning of each one, kind of has like a cover for it. So you got the first one, which is The Door in the Field. And then you have Wear Your Secret Like a Stone. Then The Boy in the Woods. And then One Half of a Child's Face. That looks very gothic. So I think that's really cool that they did it that way. They each have like a cover page. So I'm very excited to read this one. And then this one I was a little bit bummed on because I'm very excited for it. Don't get me wrong. This is William. And this is like a haunted house story, but it's haunted by AI. So I don't know, there's like a little face, a little person standing there who's William, I'm assuming, and he's probably some kind of robot or something. But sounds very, very fun. But my only problem is this is like a really short, tiny book, and it was $27. Like, that's just insane to me. So I almost didn't get it. I was like, I'll wait until it gets out on paperback, but this is one that I've been highly anticipating, so I just went ahead and did it, but it hurt. Okay, this was one of the main reasons I went in the first place. I'm so excited to read this. Can't wait. That is So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. I cannot wait to read this. I love Rachel Harrison. I'm actually reading The Return right now. That's the last book of hers I hadn't read yet. So I'm very excited to read this in the next month or two. And I'm sure you've seen this all over creation, and you can tell from the title and the cover, but this is a vampire tale. I'm excited to see her take on a vampire, since last time she did werewolves, and I absolutely loved that one. So, well, I shouldn't say last time, because I guess Black Sheep was her newest release. But either way, I loved her werewolf tale. And then I bought Johnny Compton's new book, Devils Kill Devils. He's the author of The Spite House. And although that wasn't a perfect book, that needed to be a little bit better fleshed out, and there were some unanswered questions that I wanted more answers to, despite that, I really enjoyed that book, so I'm excited to read something else by this author. And this is about a girl who has like a guardian angel, and he's been her friend her whole life, but then one day he ends up murdering somebody that she loves, and she starts to realize maybe this guardian angel isn't good and isn't what she thought. And then we have Dearest by Jackie Walters. This is another new release. And this is about a woman who just became a new-time mom, and her husband is overseas because he's in the military, and so she's pretty much taking care of this newborn by herself, and it's really hard, and she's very tired, and she starts seeing like objects move, or she'll hear voices on the baby monitor, and she kind of thinks she's going insane just from sleep deprivation, but she's not sure. And then she's got a bad relationship with her own mother, but she gets into contact with her and her mother offers to come help. And because she's desperate for the help, she goes ahead and agrees to it. And so her mom comes to help her with the baby, and then hopefully they can repair their relationship. I like that kind of trope, so I'm excited to see how this one goes. It sounds like it's going to have a little bit of paranormal stuff paired with it, so that should be a fun time. And then this last one I had never heard of. I just happened upon it at the store, but I thought the cover was hilarious. That's Here Lies a Vengeful Bitch. And I normally don't like swearing in my books or movies, to be honest, but I just thought it was funny. And I read the premise and it sounded good. This is a YA novel, but it sounds like it's being told from the perspective of the murdered victim. And so we have this teenage girl who is murdered, but the killer dumps her body on this mountain in the middle of this like frigid stream. And she wakes up in this cold water because apparently this mountain is known to bring people back from the dead. So now she's back and she wants revenge. The problem is she can't remember who killed her. And so she's got several suspects in mind. I guess her and her mom don't get along, and she's thinking it could be her mom or it could be an ex-boyfriend. And I can't remember what the third suspect was. Oh yeah, her boss, who I guess is a little too friendly. So there's several people that she thinks could have murdered her, but she wants to figure out who did it so that she can have her revenge on them. So I just thought it sounded like a campy, wacky time, so I couldn't help myself. And that's all 9 books. I'm very much looking forward to each and every one of these, and as I get to them, I will let you guys know if they're good or bad. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button to let me know so that I can make more content like this. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so we can become friends and talk about books, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya!